Cousins, tomorrow at 8.
All right, welcome back to Good Morning Football. We'll solve it inside the NFL Network newsroom. Well, following a 2-0-1 start, the Lions have been free-falling without a net in sight, losing 3 straight games in 6 of their last 7. And making matters worse here is the injury situation of quarterback Matthew Stafford. And with Stafford, when he'll return to the field remains uncertain at this point in time after fracturing bones in his back late in the Week 9 loss to the Raiders. Stafford calling it a collaborative effort to figure out when the best time is for him to get back out there. There were reports his season might be over, but head coach Matt Patricia calls Stafford day-to-day. Stafford shed some light on his status on WJR 760 AM.
There's nothing firm set anywhere. I think for me it's a fluid situation and just something I'm monitoring and trying to make sure that, when I'm back out there, I'm ready to go. And obviously I'm doing, everything I possibly can to get out there as fast as I can.
Outside. And while we figure out Stafford's status, we know Isaiah Wynn's the Patriots activating the offensive tackle off injured reserve. Wynn had been dealing with a toe injury since week 2. And maybe his presence will spark the dormant run game for New England. Now, for the moment, former Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski getting the hopes up of an entire region, only to say, psych. Gronk saying there was a big announcement that he wanted to make. Well, it turns out he'll be hosting a party and music festival on Super Bowl weekend called Gronk Beach. Now, the Patriots have until November 30th to activate him off of the retired reserve list. So the only way we'll get to see Gronk at the Super Bowl is at his party and not on the field. And Kyle, to me, that's just unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Wouldn't you say so too, Straight?
Gronk was with the Laker girls last night at the Lakers cheerleading. He was dancing at the Lakers game. Gronk is busy. He doesn't need football. He's got a lot going on.
Nope.
Speaking of a lot going on, our next guest is one of our oldest friends here at Good Morning Football, a stand-up comedian. You might know him from Bill Burr Presents Paul Vierzy. I'll say this on Comedy Central. In his album Night at the Stand, on his podcast, The Vierzy Effect, he's everywhere. And he just performed at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival and South by Southwest. It's an honor to welcome back to the breakfast table, Mr. Paul Vierzy.
Oh, yeah! Let's go.
Have him.
Let's go,
I guess.
Here we go.
Kyle's fired up.
Yeah.
You're busy.
Yeah.
You were on the show in October, and you were excited about the Daniel Jones experience.
Yeah, still am.
A month later, where are you at with the Daniel Jones Giants fandom?
I think he's the guy. I don't think, what are you going to do? You're not going to draft somebody else. I've seen him make the throws. I think he can do it. You got to get rid of the ball, though. I mean, this guy's handing the ball off to the defensive lineman. This guy's fumbling a ton. But I think he is the guy. So I'm on the and by the way, I was going to give you crap for it. I like the Danny Dimes. I like the Dimes because, I know you hate it.
A comedian comes on the show and says, I like Danny Dimes. No other alternatives, but hey, thanks for that material.
Yeah.
Real creative, Paul. That's good.
Here's some material. Let's talk about the other New York team. Sam Darnold comes out and says, technically we still have a chance at the playoffs despite being 2-7 at the time.
Yeah.
2 weeks removed from that statement, as a guy who gets New York, who gets the Jets, who gets the media, what are your thoughts on the Jets making that run?
Listen, I'm a dreamer. Listen, like
I like it already.
My wife's gorgeous, right?
Okay.
My wife's gorgeous.
Not to brag.
No, my wife's gorgeous, and when we were dating, 4 years before we started dating, she was in a relationship and I was in a relationship, and I said, I'm going to marry you. Now, some might have said I was the Sam Darnold in that situation, trying to make the playoffs, but I'm the exception. He's absolutely not going to make the playoffs. You got a better chance of the Pope delivering a pepperoni pizza to this studio right now than the New York Jets being in the playoffs. As a matter of fact, how about this?
Where's Alberto?
If the Jets make the playoffs, I'll come to the studio dressed as the Pope, and I will hand each of you a pepperoni pizza.
Wow.
Yes, come in.
There'll be a lot of white smoke that day.
I don't even need the pizza. I want to see the outfit.
What do you got, Adam?
You're rooting for the Jets now.
Yeah. All right. So you're talking about being in a relationship. People were concerned about marrying Kirk Cousins a couple years ago. The Minnesota Vikings did just that, and now he's coming off 2 big wins. Where do you stand on the Kirk Cousins, and has he won over your heart as a football fan?
As much as I hate to say it, because I don't trust his face. I don't trust his face. Like, he's just one of those guys where I'm like, like I'm Sicilian. I feel like I could smell a rat. I don't trust the guy's look, but I saw him pick apart my Giants. I know it's the Giants in front of me, but he's also done it on other teams. Right. So I have to say, Kirk Cousins has turned a corner after all this stuff. Yeah, he has, but I still, but we'll see him in the big, he may fold under question in the playoffs.
Oh!
He may fold under question.
Use Kirk Cousins at any of your stand-up?
No.
Will you?
No. We'll see.
You're kind of leaning up for it with the face, though.
If he throws a big pick in a big playoff game, I may come out and say I saw it on his face, and I knew he was a rat. Yeah.
If you say it, you'll hear it on the podcast that he does. His favorite segment that we talk about, even when you're not here, is acceptable or unacceptable, because it's very easy to listen to when you're walking around New York City, and I listen to it all the time. So we're going to give you some statements based on the 2019 NFL season, and you tell us if they are acceptable or unacceptable. You game?
I'm game.
All right, I'm going to start with the Ravens here. The Ravens are the best football team in the NFL right now.
This is so hard. This is so hard because this can be either acceptable or unacceptable, because what Jax is doing is just, it's wild what he's doing. He's fantastic. I mean, even when he got sacked even when he got hit, he looked graceful. You ever see a white quarterback go down?
Sure.
Looks like they dislocated everything. The shoulder legs go up. The thing. He popped up and turned it into a break dance and then did this. It was just ridiculous. But I think what he's doing is incredible. And he's almost like a better version, more accurate version of Vic, because he stands in the pocket and throws. But I'm going to say it's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Here's why it's unacceptable. Because until you take away the king, okay, the 9-1 Patriots, that's king. And until, you know what? And watch what happens when Belichick sees them a second time, because that's what he does. He's going to watch, and then he's going to be like, oh, we're going to throw this at them, which they don't expect. So unfortunately, I want to say acceptable because they're great, but it's unacceptable because the Kings are still in New England.
He's really good the second time around, unless it's the Giants, right?
Oh,
hey,
2 times.
Oh,
boy. I just got the chill.
Is that acceptable, Kyle?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's acceptable. I like this guy says he doesn't trust Kirk Cousins' face. He's a fan of Eli for years. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, 7-3, but some skepticism. The Buffalo Bills missing the playoffs, acceptable or unacceptable?
Oh, man, I think that they're going to make the playoffs, so they're going to make the playoffs.
Acceptable?
It's acceptable.
What do you think about Josh Allen saying with a wink, I'm the only quarterback who really plays in New York? He loves to say that. It's a pretty good line.
Ooh. And as much as I hate that, he's right.
It's technically true.
And I'm not a huge fan of Jersey.
Right.
It's kind of, so
fighting words.
And you know what? Allen's got a little bit of cockiness and swag to him, and I think a guy like that can get his team over. So I'm going to say acceptable.
Acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
49ers, there right now. If this playoffs were to start today, home field advantage, #1 seed in the NFC. They got a lot of tough games coming up. 49ers, as is right now, are the best team in the NFC. Acceptable statement or unacceptable?
I love it. I say acceptable. Jimmy G's the best. They came to a show, the owner and president came to see me at a show, and it was funny. So I have to say it because I want to go out there and get to a game. I remember the offer.
Yes.
But,
how was the set?
I had a great set, and then they said, hey, if you want to come to a game. So that's acceptable. No, but in all seriousness, 9-1, and I think the best thing for them was to lose. Sometimes you got to sometimes you got to take a loss. Because then you got the target on you, the spotlight's on you, everybody's gunning for you. Take a loss, get that little humble pie, but I think NFC, I would say yes. Acceptable.
All right, Paul, real quick, the Chicago Bears, people are talking about should they move on from Mitch Trubisky. Acceptable or unacceptable?
It's acceptable. I think they should move on from him.
Wow.
I think it's a wrap. Yeah, I think he should go model or something. He's a good-looking kid.
He is very good.
Oh, you're all about the face.
Yes.
I saw a picture of that kid in a suit. I was like, this kid's gorgeous.
Yeah, he's good looking.
Like, this kid's gonna be fine. At first, you feel bad when you're like, oh, I don't want a guy to lose a job.
Yes.
But then I just saw him like modeling a suit, holding a football. I was like, this guy's gorgeous.
He's gonna be
fine whatever he does.
Looks like a mannequin.
yeah. He's just like, I'm not worried about you. You're gonna make your millions.
Might be a good thing.
Yeah.
We're just holding him back from Mr. Pauling.
And we're saving him from injury. Just go put a suit on, do this, and a J. Crew, whatever.
Beautiful.
Well, there are too many things going on in your life. Tell us all about it.
Well, tomorrow I'm actually flying out today to Houston. I'll be headlining the Houston.
It's a Thursday night football game in Houston. We got to combine these two.
I'm working.
No, we got to do the pregame.
I would love to. But yeah, I'll be in Houston at the Improv this Thursday through Saturday. Next day after Thanksgiving, I'll be in Dallas at the Addison Improv. And yeah, man, I got some cool stuff. First major motion picture, Judd Apatow. Yeah, it was the first, you know, I've done like sketches and I've done like independent, but this is like the first, you know, being directed by Apatow for the new Pete Davidson movie was Wild. That's already in the can. That's coming out in June. So yeah, it's
amazing.
It's pretty cool, man. Thank you.
Paul Vierzy, please don't forget us when you're big time.
No, stop it. You guys put me on here so long ago. I love this place. You guys are my favorites, by the way.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. We will be back here, so we have to leave Paul Vierzy right now because we.
All right.
Sorry, we have to do.
He's gonna go to his Airstream trailer.
Of all the teams in the NFL, which fan base should be the most excited right now?
They're pretty happy right now.
And time for America's favorite game. It's the long show after this.
Here we go. Is that after this game?
Paul should do some skits too.
Man, all right.